It's me, it's Queen Offset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Okay, guys, so first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to my man, Rich Lop. Rich has his own channel, which I will be linking one of his videos underneath this video so you can check him out. And he does readings on his channel, like live, which is really cool to watch him do live readings. And he's been a great ally to me and a support to our channel. So I definitely want to shout out my man Rich and his beautiful girlfriend. The both of them have been lovely to us. Thank you so much. So guys, today we're going to talk about Aquarius and feeling judged by other signs. A lot of Aquarius have inboxed me and emailed me and hit me up on Instagram and told me that they feel so judged by other signs. And sometimes even other Aquarius, but most of the time it's other signs. And I agree with this because I feel very judged by Capricorns. And I feel very judged by Aries. But that could be because most of my elders are Capricorns or Aries. So it could be because of that. But the bottom line is that a lot of Aquarius tell me they feel judged by other signs. And I understand exactly what you're saying. So this is my thing to you. This is my top 5 things when an Aquarius feels judged by other signs. Number 1, whenever you feel judged by another sign or even the same sign, I want you to consider if what they are saying has any truth to it. This is what I do when anybody criticizes me or judges me. I think about, is there any truth to what they just said? Because sometimes it might be. Most of the time it's not. But there have been limited times when somebody said something and I was like, you know what? Okay, that could be all right. I could think about that. So the first thing I want you to do is consider it. If it's bullshit, just chuck it. But if there's some truth to it, consider it. Okay? So if your mama or your auntie is talking smack and she says something you don't like, first consider, is she right? And if she's right, you ain't even got to tell her she right. You ain't got to say nothing. Just that's for you. That's all you. You ain't got to tell her nothing. You can tell her amount of business, but that's for you to question, is there any truth to this? Do I need this information? Because sometimes information comes to us from the most unlikely of sources and the unwanted sources sometimes too. So really consider it just in case it's something that you may need to know. 2, ignore them. I ignore it. A lot of times I just ignore them. If it's no truth to it, then I just shut it right off. Like, okay. Because everybody got an opinion about your life, okay? So a lot of times I just ignore it. Because number 1, they don't know what you're doing. They're not walking your walk. They're not living your life. So they just talking out their ass. So a lot of times I just simply ignore them. And for people who you can't ignore them, we'll come to some other ones you can do other things about it. But that's the first one I go to, is ignore it. If I can ignore it, then it's just ignored. 3, avoid them. If you have a family member or a frenemy or somebody who's constantly giving you negative judgment and negative criticism and just being a whole ass about what you do in your life, then you don't really have to be around them. Remember, you can avoid them. You don't have to be around them at all. To be honest with you, if it's your mom or your family member or somebody that you want to maintain a relationship with, you don't have to be around them frequently. Most people don't see me that often for that reason. They see me like once a year, here and there. I just avoid them. I ain't got time for that shit. I'm going to do me, and I'm not listening to your bullshit. Next. Let them know that their judgments are not helpful or appreciated when you want to. Because sometimes, as an Aquarius, sometimes we don't feel like doing this. Sometimes we don't feel like going through the drama. But times when you do, Like, sometimes my aunts or somebody just steps way over the line. And I let them know that their judgments are not helpful and not appreciated. And I might smack the shit out of you if you come at me one more time. Sometimes you have to take it there. And if you can do this politely, is best. If you can do this pleasantly, is best. But some of the times, we all know, sometimes you got to get about it. So if you got to air it out, air it out. Because sometimes that's the only way that people know to leave you the fuck alone. So you got to do what you got to do. You have to judge that per situation. And the last one, do what you want anyway. Whatever they say, whatever, do what you want anyway. I saw a quote from Robert Downey Jr. I saw it on his picture. I'm not sure if it's his quote or not. But it said that when somebody tells him something, he says, nods, and goes off and does what the fuck he was going to do anyway. So that's kind of part of ignoring them. But basically, listen, smile politely, and go do exactly what you was getting ready to do, despite their judgment. Because at the end of the day, people are going to judge you, especially since you're an Aquarius. I think that that's one of the things that happens with us is that we get judged very harshly because remember, we're the eccentric ones. We're the different ones, We're the ones, remember I told you guys about the allegory of the cave. We're the ones who get up and see the light. And we're always oftentimes futuristic. So a lot of times the things that we do and see, other people cannot see, cannot comprehend. And they're like, why are you doing that? And they won't know for many years to come. So do what you were going to do anyway. Don't let the judgment of other people stop you. That's why I told you number one was to consider if what they're saying is true. If there is no truth to what they're saying, then chuck it and do what you want, Aquarius. Because at the end of the day, like I said before, a lot of times we are ahead of our time. A lot of times we are ahead of the people that are around us. A lot of times they're telling us something from their point of view or something that they see some type of way. And we see a totally different vision. So Aquarius, do what you want. Ignore them and move on. And don't spend your time trying to convince people, Aquarius. A lot of us do that. A lot of us try to convince people that our way is right, that our vision is correct. And some people are invested in not listening to you. Some people are invested in doing things the old way. Some people are invested in maintaining status quo. So don't spend any time trying to convince people, because the bottom line is that you go do you, and if they need to change up, they'll figure it out on their own. Okay? If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to someone else who needs to know these 5 things. Thank you for being here with me today, guys. And remember to come back because I have a lot more to say. If you would like to get a reading, please email me. If you would like to give me a question for Asking Aquarius, please send it to me either through my social media, which will be underneath here, or you can email that to me as well, or you can write it right underneath this video. Okay, guys? Thank you for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.